estamos en el zoo. We're gonna have so much fun. Like, oh my god.
Of up to around 35 miles per hour. The smaller, darker brown-colored monkeys would be the red-tailed guenons. They have very large pouches in their cheeks, which they use to store any excess food. And if you find some antelopes in the habitat to the right that have a yellow stripe along their back, those would be the yellow-back duikers, the largest of the duiker family. Now we are entering the open animal habitats, meaning animals will be to the right and left sides. If they do approach the tram, do not, I repeat, do not pet them. The antelopes to the right are the greater kudu, and the stripes along their sides help them to blend in with the tall savanna grasses. They also have the ability to stand completely still for over 2 hours. That way, if the predator spots them, the may lose interest and move on to some livelier prey. And on the right and coming up on our left side, you're going to be able to see 2 large birds with white legs, white underbellies, and black wings. Those will be the marabou storks, the largest of the storks, with a wingspan of around 10 to 12 feet. Their nickname is the Undertaker bird, due to the cloak-like appearance of their wings and back, as well as the fact that they are scavengers, meaning they merely dead things, though that shouldn't be something we see as a negative trait, as that is a very important job in the savanna ecosystem. We'll be able to find a few more marabou storks later on during our tour. We're going to be able to see a sweet East African crowned cranes. The 2 East African crowned cranes we have in this habitat are both males. Their names are Bert and Gollum. If we introduce the females in the habitat, the males would form an elaborate courtship dance, and one of them would end up mating for life with the female, as they are very loyal. You see laying down a very small antelope. That'll be a fully grown adult bay diker. The second smallest of the diker family. They only stand about 2 feet tall when fully. The blue diker can be found in the Hornbill Aviary after we completed our tour here today. And diker roughly translates into diver, because coming up on the right side, we're passing by and Blitzen. And the eastern bongos are the largest of the forest antelopes. Males tend to weigh around 900. And in the aviary to the right, you may be able to see some pink birds. Also be the scarlet ibises in the aviary to the right. And they are the national bird of the country of Trinidad. Alrighty, we're now going to be approaching the dogs who are in no way related to any other kind of dog. They are completely genetically unique, and when living out in the wild, they'll be very community focused, often caring for their sick, elderly, and very young as food. Looks like they made a beeline for the front of their habitat, so you'll probably be able to get a bit of better view of them from the African walking cat. And coming up on the left side, very passing by, our white rhino boma. Boma is a Swahili term meaning shelter. Though we do not currently have any white rhinos in our boma here at the moment, meaning that our entire crash of white rhinos will be visible coming up ahead on our left side. And a group of rhinos is referred to as a crash, rather appropriate considering. much shaggier though than the female lowland diodas. The larger birds with the white legs and white underbellies and black wings will once again be the caribou storks. The largest birds you'll find will be the southern brown hornbills. Their very large eyelashes help keep dust out of their eyes, as they do tend to spend most of their time on the ground. And coming up on our left side, we'll be passing by the Aldabra tortoise habitat. The Aldabra tortoise is the second largest of the tortoises, weighing an average around 400 pounds when fully grown. They can also live an average around 150 to around 200 years. Though the oldest Aldabra tortoise was recorded to having lived up to 255 years old. Thanks for passing by the Galapagos tortoise habitat. The Galapagos tortoise is the largest of the tortoises. They can weigh over 600 pounds and full grown and live around 200 years. And the larger of the two Galapagos tortoises that we have in that habitat, his name is Winston.
Ian, vete para acá mejor.